Okay, so when you first go to www.draw.io, it gives you the option to create a new diagram, open an existing diagram, and if you're not, for example, using Google Drive, you can click on this, use the options to use Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, or you can actually save it to your device. I choose Google Drive because that's where I would like to save my diagrams. So I'm going to create a new diagram, and it comes up with all these nice templates. So basic, business, charts, so on and so forth. I like the software design template, and I would like to kind of match that, but I think I'm going to go on my own and do basic. Come up with a blank diagram. We'll click create, give it a second to think about it, and it will come up with various things. You've got your grids, you can set the distance to your grids, guides, page view, background. You can set the paper size, portrait or landscape. I'm going to leave it in portrait for right now. You can also add pages as you go out of the edge if you need more space. So if for some reason you do not see these boxes here, click on More Shapes and click the General tab, and that will give you the ones we need for this assignment. Okay, so you've got boxes, you've got rounded boxes, ellipses, text, and what I do is I actually use the text one and I'll drag it out. I'll make it a little bigger, about like that, and then add a stroke to it, a nice line around it, so that I have a line. Now, I've chosen the dotted line. I can change that to a solid line, and I can make it thicker if I want. So I can change it thicker. I can round it. I can shadow it. I can do something called comic, which is kind of crazy. It kind of roughens it up a little bit. You can play with that and develop your own style. Once you have it the way you want, you can double click and type text. For example, my home page, we'll just call it home for this one. And I've got this set up perfectly the way I want it. Now you can use these tabs to go down and it will automatically add the line. If for some reason it doesn't have the double-sided line, you can click on this, and by default it's probably set here with only one arrow. All you have to do is go over here and set the back arrow, and it will add arrows both directions. And basically this shows it's going from one way to the other. Then for this one, I'll put objects, maybe it's something to do with some kind of object-based website, or it could be a product. What I like to do though is I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to look at my arrow types. And I like this arrow, so I'm going to bring it out. But I'm going to draw it because I've got multiple menus attached to that. I'm going to drag it out, and I'm going to set the arrows off. So I'm going to turn the arrows actually off, or even better, I can get crazy with it, and I can add points in here just by clicking and then dragging them up. So as I'm going along this line, I should be able to click and drag it up if it's going to let me, but it's not. I don't know why. It's software that's kind of crazy, so I'll just go line and do it this way. So set no arrows on both sides, and I'll just drag it up where I want it, right there. And then I'm going to draw another line up to home, and to do that, I'm going to duplicate this. Command D will duplicate, and I'm just going to drag this up to here, and drag this one to the center of this, just like that. So now we have a crosshatch of lines, and it's going to show that I can do things in multiple places. I can add another one of these boxes out here, dragging it out, and I'll just draw a line. I'll just duplicate this line here and bring it down to where I need it. Make sure that you don't accidentally create a point, and grab the line itself. It's real easy to do. And I'll drag this up just by grabbing the end. I'll duplicate this one, and I'm able to move it over. Again, be careful about creating that extra point. You can zoom in if you want, which apparently I'm going to have to do. because it keeps creating that. So to zoom in, we're going to go up to the top. Right here it says 100%. We can also zoom in by using these and zoom out. There we go. Zoom in. Now I can get that line, just drag it straight over. I can duplicate another one and throw it on the end. And there. Duplicate another box, drag it over. So see, I'm creating a very basic flowchart. I can double click and label this one products. Double click on this, label this one contact. Now I can change the colors of them just by simply coming over to style. I can change the text style by clicking on text, and I can arrange here and literally put in exact size measurements if I want. So style, you've got some preset filters. I like this one. It's pretty cool. It changes the border and everything for you. For products, I'm going to go a blue, little shaded blue. Objects will do the shaded orange. And contact, let's just go shaded red or purple. Now, under products, I may have a drop down menu. And typically, to show a drop down menu, I'm going to pull an arrow out. That's the comic arrow. We don't want that. We want a regular arrow. And I typically turn it and add a point in there so that it comes around, so I can click and add a point and bring it up. And see how it added a nice curve to it. And this can denote a drop down menu. So I can duplicate my products and shrink it. Usually I make the drop down menus a little smaller just to show difference. And I can always create a nice little legend to let it, tell it what to do. I can use my arrow keys back and forth to move the box. Real simple. And I can make a bunch of these and link them again just like I linked these. Just keep in mind, try to keep certain sections of the pages together. And once you're done with this, it's real simple. Make sure you name it. So we'll call this one test page because good a name as any. Then file, go down to export as PDF. I leave these unchecked and just click export. Now it's going to ask you to save it to Google Drive, Dropbox, or we can click open in a new window and it will open it for you. Okay? So if you click open in a new window, it will actually export it to a new window. And from there, you're able to save it. And once you've got it saved and downloaded, then you can upload it, share it, do whatever you need.